get to see somebody who's never been.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy, had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar, a straight-up omelet bar. And now look, my former interns tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. You know, come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Let's roll.
Yeah! Broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. This 31 May 2021. Ending the Memorial Day weekend on this Memorial Day show. Just want to thank you guys and gals for hanging out. Of the show on any other Monday, but of course this being Memorial Day. Different rules of engagement. If you guys at any time will read that name throughout the show. In case you've noticed, U.S. Army WTF Moments has been posting pictures and images of the fallen, and fallen. I can't even talk today. Fallen images of the fallen, and they've been doing it. Like it seems like every 4 or 5 minutes. So they've been really hot. Getting those images out. However, if you guys don't see your pictures up there and you would like me to read a name of a fallen service member or family member that you have served with, or if you're a Gold Star family member, just write it in any of the chats. I have every single one of the chats open that's broadcasting live on all of our streaming outlets. So if Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, Twitters, Facebooks, on U.S. Army WTF Moments or WTF Nation Radio, and you want to see you would like to have your loved one, their name read off, I'll read it off. Easy stuff. Just like last year. Or if you'd like to give us a call, give me a call at 415-889-8367 to do a quick shout out and come on here for a few seconds and be immortalized on the webs and on the internets. Feel free to call in at 415-889-8367, and I'll be more than happy to give you a moment to give you a shout out to do a shout out, I should say. And then there you go. But normally this is pretty laid back, pretty quiet. I hope you guys have had a good Memorial Day weekend so far. First, I just want to throw some shout outs to some of the bands that we've had throughout the weekend. A lot of work being coordinated and a lot of stuff getting coordinated for all the bands that we had joining us and providing the music for the Celebration of Life event that we had this weekend. Again, I could not have been more proud to see all the bands that wanted to drop, and just, hey, yeah, we'll do a show. First off, today we had, let me just give a shout out to Once Revealed and Another Round. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and giving us your set. That was quite the epic show. So if you guys did not see that show, you can always go down the timeline right there on U.S. Army WTF Moments or on WTF Nation Radio, and you can see it all. And it's pretty. It was a great show. Private First Class Jacob Caspel, November 8th, 2018, Fort Hood. It was an awesome show. Once Revealed was the opener, and then Another Round. And then, of course, today, if you did not see on the timeline, we also had the Bayou Bandits, which is a station favorite, do it again like they did last year. Great show. It was really awesome to see all them giving the shout outs too. So again, I really thank all those bands for putting everything together. And of course, we have not forgotten the film Last Out, Elegy of a Green Beret. That film is still on the timeline, but you better get on there pretty quick to watch it because it's only for a limited release. and it will be taken down off the timelines. Probably within the next 48 hours or so. So watch it. If you obviously you don't want to go digging through U.S. Army WTF moments, you can see it's a pinned post on WTF Nation Radio, and you guys and gals will be able to check it out from there. It's a great movie, great flick. As a matter of fact, we're gonna have Scott Mann come on. He'll be on here on the 8th to shoot the shit with CQ and give him the story of how it came out. It's been awesome. If you guys not watched it already, CBS News did a spot on it as well. It's already tracking a lot of views as well. It's already got I don't even know. Let me see how many views does it already have on the webs. Let me check. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, there's another name here. Great Uncle was KIA in Korea. In Korea, January 1952, Master Sergeant John Jack Davis. So over almost 20,000 views. Over 20,000 views on Last Out Elegy of a Green Beret. And the reviews from the Gold Star family members and civilians and warriors, it's just an honor to be part of this too. And then CBS National News did a little spot, and then there was a remake of another of the Ballad of the Green Beret. So it was a pretty good, again, great turnout. Again, thanks, Scott Mann. I mean, this has been a busy weekend. A lot of individuals out there are kind of going back and forth on what the meaning is of Memorial Day. Myself and Spanky have had conversations of what it is for you to be celebrating or memorializing and all that. For me, it's a wave of emotions for me. I'm already an animated individual, if you guys don't already know. Just a couple of cups of coffee Bustelo, and I'm all over the place, and I can see sound. But I'm generally a pretty, I don't know. I like it's happy time. I like being in a good mood. It's all fun. I have good memories of my friends, brothers and sisters that have fallen, and I have great memories of them. Lance Corporal Garrett W. Gamble, USMC, 11 March 2010. Specialist Benjamin B. Calvin, U.S. Army, 2 October 2017. Specialist Christopher A. McCoy, U.S. Army, 27 November 2017. Sergeant Emilio Gonzalez, U.S. Army, 17 May 2020. It's a feeling for me. It runs in waves. I was speaking to somebody. I had a friend lost, a buddy of mine, a 2nd Battalion 10th Special Forces Group. And I was on the phone with somebody when it happened, and my emotions went all over the place when I received the notice. Just had to, hey, let me call you back, and then I had to call back, and then that's when I just was given the news, and I was a wreck. It's hard. It really is. When you take that, nobody can explain it. When you feel that shock of loss, you're kind of speechless for a moment, and then you start remembering all the memories that you've had, all the discussions that you've had in the past, going out for a couple beers or riding bikes or something like that, and you just have simple conversations that you go back and remember, laughing at some jokes, or them laughing at you making a bad jump, falling wrong on a jump or something like that, or training. Staff Sergeant Michael Lee Deason at Red Knight Rakkasans, August 31st, 2006. I, for one, and myself and Spanky have discussed this. I want you guys, should my time come, I want you guys to celebrate. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you should be happy that I'm dead. I mean, there are some people that would be happy that if I was gone, but I'm just saying I would want you guys to party. I would want you guys to commemorate the good times. Of course, I am sad too that I lost friends as well. I am. I'm really sad that they're gone. But I also know that I had great memories with them, and I also know that they would want me to celebrate. However, it's not a need for me to say how you are supposed to celebrate and reflect or commemorate, or, you know what I mean? It's not up to me. or is it my place to tell you how to feel about it? I feel a specific way when there's a loss when it comes to Gold Star families, and I've known Gold Star families. I've talked to them. When I went to that screening of Last Out and spoke to some, you feel it. You feel that it was a mix of emotions. If you feel somber about it and don't want to talk about it, that's totally fine. If you celebrate the good times, you want to toast one for your teammates, that's fine too. Anthony says, I call it a celebration for the great men and women who have served us and enjoy every day in this country, great country. I've lost a brother, but they made today possible. Exactly, man. Exactly that, man. Right on the head, man. Right on the head. Same way. I feel the same way. I would want you guys to go out and hang out and go, to go get some barbecue, hang out with the family and friends, gather. It's that. When you continue to speak someone's individual name, or you remember them and you speak of their memory, they're never going to die. Yeah, it is sad. It is. Like I said, when I got that news, when a friend of mine, got killed, I was a blabbering idiot. I'm glad that person was there for me when that happened, because I was, man, it was a, and of course you don't know what do you say or what do you do in a moment like that. Just sometimes being there is good enough, for me at least. And then I remembered some of the memories that we talked about. Hey, when you retire, we're going to do this. Yeah, man, we're going to do that. Or, hey, we're going to shoot the breeze and we're going to go ride bikes. Yeah, let's go do that. You have all these discussions. It's good to get it out. I'm getting it out right now with you guys, right now, as we're talking. As we're jamming right now and listening to tunes and making fun of making fun of each other, making jabs at each other, you just start to reflect. But I will say this, that I could not have done it, or could not have gone through it, or not have pulled through it or pushed through it, I guess you would want to say, had it not been for some of my friends and family that were there on other, like I said, I've lost a lot of friends. Some of my closest friends that you've seen them just like some of your closest friends that you've seen on the timeline at U.S. Army WTF Moments. Every time you see it posted up and I look at it, I'm like, okay, that was somebody's mom, somebody's brother, somebody's dad, somebody's uncle, somebody's cousin, somebody's sister, somebody, you just again, I just toast to our departed family. There are individuals that are out there that get really upset when you're saying you're not supposed to celebrate it a certain way, or maybe you should be more respectful or whatever. I'm not telling you guys and gals how to celebrate. I'm telling you how I remember my friends and family that have passed. And again, it's I know them, and how they would feel about me too. Remembering them, I want that. That's the best way to get talking about it. Gets it healed up. Talking about it gets it. Jim says to barbecue today and enjoy a day off. Work getting together with friends and family, but please take a moment to remember your brothers and sisters who cannot be with us. The ones that have passed defending our freedom. Remember the ones that lost the war long after returning home and lost the battle to their demons. Raise a glass for them. Think of the times together and don't be sad that they'll be gone, but happy you got to know these fallen warriors. Right there, brother. Right there. Right there. Same thing. Exactly that, Heather. Don't wait till retirement, man. Oh, you ain't lying. I'm going to go out and, visit, and see how his family's doing. The same thing. Don't do it now, man. Don't do it. Don't wait. Do it now, I should say. Exactly that, Heather. Sorry, I didn't mean to. For you and for them, because you don't know exactly what tomorrow brings. Nick says, served 13 years in 213 FA, 2123 FA as a supply guy in the HHB battalion for the Illinois Army National Guard. Did a tour in Afghanistan in 2009 at 333 MP, and I'm very proud. Well, you should be proud, man. You should be proud. I'm proud to serve. I'm proud that you've served. There you go. But yeah, exactly that. Let's go back to what Jim said. Don't hold it in. Battle the demons together. Give me a call. Tell me what it is that's bothering you, or what's on your mind. For one, I can't shut up. So somebody's gonna get a phone call with me. There's not gonna be no ands, ifs, or buts. But some individuals won't feel like they're going to get laughed at or get talked down or be belittled before it. There's nothing wrong with talking about it at all. Nothing wrong with talking about it at all. Some of the posts that you've seen, different units around across the country and across the world, U.S. Army units and U.S. and Americans are honoring Memorial Day, celebrating Memorial Day. We're, as we speak right now, the posts are still going up on the timeline. You cannot forget these. We do this, like I said, this is awesome that we do this. I'm so glad that the main page does that. I'm so glad I've had my teammates here at the station, convince us to keep going. The battle doesn't stop till you get home, and the same people will have your back. Just reach out. Exactly that, Jim. Exactly that. If there's something that you can't type or something that's going to take too long for you to type, give me a call at 415-889-8367, so that way you can, you can tell me how you feel. Tell the audience how you feel about this and how you commemorate Memorial Day. The Unknown Soldier, 11 November 1921, Chalon-sur-Marne. Oh, yeah, France, yeah. Chelsea, there you go. That's the Marne. Yeah. What's up, Heath? But, anyways. I didn't mean it like that, though. What I say, but anyways, it's almost like moving on to another thought. It's hard to talk about it without getting somebody, getting flustered. There's been some going back and forth on the webs about it. There's individuals that really, I don't want to say they want to ruin party, the party poopers or something like that, but it's like you can't, you can't. Rest in peace, Russell Casey. Is that how you pronounce it? Casey, 4 July 1996. For those who bore the weight of the uniform before us, here's to you. That's right, Steve. Individuals out there, they're really getting mad about how it's supposed to be honored. It's how it's supposed to be celebrated, and really there isn't. There is, like I said before, you're gonna run the emotions of your life, of everything that happened, just like it did anybody else. The initial shock, the feelings of grief, then a memory is gonna hit. Your memory of some of the times that you spent. I know there's some friends on the timeline at WTF Moments. Some friends that have that have passed or were killed in action, and some of the interactions that I've had with them at the unit or during PT, doing unit sports, and then trash talking you, saying that you can't catch a football or something like that, and you're like, shut up, bitch, and you go back and forth. Little memories like that. Oh man, it just keeps the memories alive. Rest in peace, Brandon Butler's for September 12th, 2001, January 4th, 2020. I was young. But the fact is that there's individuals saying don't celebrate a certain way. Don't mind them. There's going to be trolls out there. There's going to be trolls out there saying how you can or cannot celebrate it. Fuck them. That's celebrate or feel or commemorate or memorialize the way you feel is best. There is no one specific spot. And there's a lot of issues with how it shouldn't be somber or whatever. Of course, remembrance, of course. I'm sad to see some of my brothers and sisters go. I am. I'm real sad when I see them go. But, then I also, again, going back to the memory again. Going back to memories, and then something will happen. I just laugh my ass off about, doing some BS in the barracks or being deployed, or we're at the airfield waiting for the aircraft to show up, and then, remember somebody, oh yeah, he did something, and those memories just come back. Memorial Day in itself is an American holiday observed on the last Monday of May, honoring the men and women who died while serving in the U.S. military. And obviously today, it fell on May 31st. Originally known as Decoration Day, it originated in the years following the Civil War and became a federal holiday in 1971. Many Americans observe Memorial Day by visiting cemeteries, memorials, or holding family gatherings and participating in events, but unofficially kind of marks the summer season. The early observances of it were the Civil War, which ended in 1865. claimed the lives of any conflict in U.S. history and required the establishment of the country's first national cemeteries. By the 1860s, Americans in various towns and cities had begun holding springtime tributes to this countless fallen soldiers, decorating their graves with flowers and reciting prayers. There's actually a national moment of remembrance that is supposed to happen at 1500 or 3 p.m. Nationally. It's unclear where this tradition came, but numerous different communities have come to independently initiated the memorial gatherings, and some records show that one of the earliest Memorial Day commemorations was organized by a group of formerly enslaved people in Charleston, South Carolina. So yes, freed slaves. Less than a month and after the Confederacy surrendered in 1865. Nevertheless, in 1966, the federal government declared Waterloo, New York, the official birthplace of Memorial Day. Waterloo, which was first celebrated on the day of May 5th, 1866, was chosen because it hosted an annual community-wide event during which businesses closed and residents decorated the graves of soldiers with flowers and flags. And Chelsea says that no right or way, Memorial Day is a personal reverence. Decoration Day, May 5th, 1868, General John Logan, leader of an organization for Northern Civil War veterans, called for a nationwide day of remembrance later that month. The 30th of May, 1868, is designated for the purposes, quote, of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating graves of comrades who have died in the defense of their country during the late rebellion, and whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet churchyard of the land, unquote. He proclaimed that on the date, Decoration Day, as he called it, was chosen because it wasn't the anniversary of any particular battle. On the first Decoration Day, General James Garfield made a speech at Arlington National Cemetery, and 5,000 participants decorated the graves of over 20,000 Civil War soldiers buried there. Many northern states held similar commemorative events and reprised the tradition in subsequent years. By 1890, each and one had made Decoration Day an official state holiday. Southern states, on the other hand, continued to honor the dead on separate days until after World War I. Thank you, Brandon. We appreciate you listening to WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments. So Memorial Day, as Decoration Day gradually became known, originally honored only those that fall fighting in the Civil War, but during World War I, the United States found itself embroiled in another major conflict. The holiday evolved to commemorate American military personnel who died in all wars, including World War II, Vietnam, Korea, and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. For decades, Memorial Day continues to be observed on May 30th, but the date General Logan had selected for the first Decoration Day. But in 1968, Congress passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, which established Memorial Day as the last Monday in May in order to create a 3-day weekend for federal employees. Hey, thanks a lot, Corey. Appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing good too. I think you appreciate that. That was all. It wasn't all me, man. All I did was just post it. It was the bands, man. Thank the bands. But yeah, I get you, man. I appreciate it. So it established Memorial Day as the last Monday in May in order to give them a federal holiday. Can you imagine? There's like in Congress, we need to give these people a day off. The change went into effect in 1971, and the same law also declared Memorial Day a federal holiday. So some of the traditions that we have, of course, our cities and towns have Memorial Day parades, often incorporating military personnel and members of veterans organizations. Some of the largest parades take place in Chicago, New York, and Washington, D.C. Americans also observe Memorial Day by visiting cemeteries and memorials, and people often wear red poppy in remembrance of those fallen in war, and a tradition that began with a World War I poem. On a less somber note, many people take weekend trips or throw parties and barbecues on the holiday, perhaps because the Memorial Day weekend, the long weekend comprising Saturday and Sunday before Memorial Day itself, is also unofficially marking summer. So thanks History Channel for all the creds there and giving me the giving us the deets. So yeah, it's pretty fascinating when you start looking back. and seeing who's celebrating it and all that. If you had, I know there was a big one. There was a big Miami, Florida had a big Memorial Day event. What was it, like a Miami Beach Air Show or something like that. The U.S. Army Recruiting Command, Special Operations Recruiting Battalion was there. So it was pretty. I was getting some pictures in there too. If you've been on Twitter. There have been other organizations and other units in installations such as the 101st 3rd Infantry Division, of course Arlington National Cemetery. Can we get an ice version of Drunk History? You know, Chelsea, there has been discussions of a Drunk History of doing a Drunk History version with the History Channel. Of course, COVID kind of messed everything up, so we like the way you think. We like the way you think. That's exactly what we were talking about, doing a Drunk History. It'd be pretty funny to see that. How would we how would we do that? Oh, okay, thanks, Pip. Why'd you punk me like that, dick? Anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, so other units, other installations across across the continental United States. There's been events. Canada has been also giving us shout outs as well. They wrote the we saw you. This is what they wrote. We saw you, America, stalking your way into forever at Bella Woods, striding hard towards evil, and at Normandy, from the Marne to Midway to Korea to Kandahar, anywhere sons and daughters paid the ultimate sacrifice. We saw you. We see you, honor them. We see you, America. And this is from the Canadian Forces. You're volunteering. Tug, you're volunteering for that show, the drunk history one. I'm kind of thinking what would be the first one to what would we talk about the first one? What would be the first topic for Drunk History? I don't know if that would be a. I'm really thinking that would be a pretty funny show. I mean, which would be though? I'll probably do something like World War II or something like that. Have to be like something like Kelly's Heroes, and I'd do it like Oddball. I would get up, in an outfit like Oddball. Party in the barracks back in 2004. Man, Anthony, come to think of it, I think I was living in the barracks in 2004. No, I wasn't. I wasn't in the barracks in 2004. I was like, wait a minute, was I in the barracks in 2004? No, I was not. Just get drunk and do the show, but read all the comments as they come in. Oh man, I have done drunk radio before. Woof, man. Glad those files got deleted and destroyed. I have done drunk radio before. It's not funny. It ended up cutting off, and there was some technical difficulties. There was drinks spilt on equipment. So yeah, that's why I don't do that anymore. I'll do Coffee Bustelo shows, but you guys would have to like pay attention and like maybe slow down my language or my the tempo of my voice, so that way you can just hear exactly. Pip, you missed those nights. Oh man, I'm telling you, man, those were some fun times. Cannot complain. But there should be a true TV show, just cameras in the barracks. There should be. No, there should be. There should be, big time. I don't know if we want to have that, though, because there's some... well, if you go to WTF, U.S. Army WTF Moments videos page, you see it all the time. Joe's will post some stupid crap on the web. You that's one thing. You don't have to worry about it. If you hear about an incident in the barracks or about something that happened on an installation, all you have to do is wait for a TikTok to show up. But I just want to give a shout out to everybody who's been getting mad. There's been people that's been getting big mad about how the how should rave nights. Yeah, no, oh my God, rave nights used to last all night. Man, it was man. Those are some big memories, great memories. Like I said, man, how you honor, how do you commemorate, how do you memorial, in memoriam. You want to take some time to be by yourself. That's great. You want to take some time to, shoot the breeze. I got friends that have posted awesome comments. I got a friend of mine who said, quote, "Another Memorial Day has come upon us. We use this day to remember and celebrate those who paid the ultimate sacrifice." Do exactly that. Take a moment to remember them and then enjoy your time with friends and family celebrating the memory of those that are no longer here. That's fact. Another friend of mine said Memorial Day is all about those who sacrificed their one life so that evil would not triumph and so that others would not have to suffer. In a world where it's almost impossible to put politics aside, you must always love the soldier no matter how much you hate the war. Great comments here. Great, I totally appreciate the comments. Yeah, exactly that, cause the internet is forever. Just when you think you hid your Facebook account, you didn't. Someone will always have some screenshots. Exactly. I mean, I don't, Spanky even said, "Stop with the Memorial Day. What means we know." Her dad taught me the meaning when he remembers his Vietnam buddies, and you know what else he did? He had a kick-ass barbecue, lake outing, and whatever he decided to do with family, he was fortunate to come home to. Everyone celebrates and commiserates, cry, live, laugh, love. Do Memorial Day however it feels right for you, and let everyone else do the same. No lie. Preach it, sis. Preach it. I'm just getting all the comments, all the DMs right now from everybody, for a bunch of people. So I even kind of made a comment that all the individuals who keep saying "Till Valhalla" are really freaking out about the term "happy" in their Memorial Day weekend or greetings. Isn't Valhalla supposed to be happy? You know what I mean? Isn't one of those things? It's like, isn't that the celebration? Paradise, the great hall of warriors, Till Valhalla. Again, I want you guys to party. I know it was kind of a morbid discussion than when me and Spanky used to have our funeral plans on air and what we talked about. She wants to see people have, she wants to see people throw hands, fighting over stuff. Nothing would go over well, but a pilot episode would be great. A JAG or PAO, you'd have to make sure there isn't a JAG or PAO around it, because a PAO would want to come around and then say, yeah. Another friend of mine says that we have a responsibility to remember our fallen. I think we best honor their memory by enjoying the weekend, remember and celebrate them. It is possible to do both. That's right. Exactly that. Everyone gets mad and says, "Oh, Till Valhalla," and then the next thing you know, you say Happy Memorial Day. And they're ranting in their Toyota Tacoma, screaming about how you shouldn't say happy and Happy Memorial Day, even though they say Till Valhalla. I don't know, it's going to piss people off, but I don't care. Exactly that. Norse religion. Thank you, Corey. Thank you. It's a majestic, enormous hall, right? Located in Asgard. Shit, man. Freaking, chosen by Odin, only half of those who die in combat travel to Valhalla upon death, led by Valkyries, while the other half go to the goddess Freya. In Valhalla, the dead warriors join the masses who have died in combat, and other various heroes, sit there and drink and shit, and have a good time and party, and you're being provided a feast. So why are you getting mad? Hair rest in honor, glory, an American soldier known but to God. Cross for an unknown American soldier in Flanders Field Cemetery. That's right. Distract the PAO. Exactly that. Well, as soon as I see WTF Nation stickers or something like that, or whatever, people are going to be real. They're going to be sus. They're going to be like, wait a minute, what are these guys doing? What's WTF Nation doing here in the barracks? Me and Spanky, you'll be looked at like, aren't you guys a little old to be in the barracks? Exactly that, Stephen. Drinking and a feast. It sounds good to me too, right? I'm probably going to piss off the Brovets making comments like that. WTF Nation Radio's talking shit about Valhalla. No, I'm not. It's like Valhalla's supposed to be happy. You know, it's the Hall of the Slain. Brandy says, I had to admit, I was stumped when all my sons and fellow soldiers kept saying Till Valhalla until I had to look it up. Y'all stop. Some are retired PA. We are not retired PA. Heather, we are retired soldiers just like everyone. We're not PAOs. We are not. We would never. We're on the Joe team. You should check the unknown memorial for the Revolutionary War in Philly. You got any pictures of that? Matter of fact, let me look, see if I can Google it. Let me see. No. What was it called? Unknown memorial. We'll just do a Google search here online. It's a Revolutionary War. I'll do this online. I don't care. Revolutionary War Philly. There you go. Let's see, what is it? What is that one got? Let me see what that looks like. Oh, it looks nice, man. The Tomb of the Unknown Revolutionary War Soldier. That looks pretty cool. Freedom is a light for which many have died in darkness. That's pretty baller, man. Well, thank you so much for bringing that up to my attention. Matter of fact, let me get that on the turnstile here, and let me grab the graphic. Let me see that. That looks pretty cool. It's near Constitution Hall. Hey Corey, let me grab this image here and let me see if it's the right one. That way you can say, yep, that's it, or you can say, nope, wrong one, old man. And then I can continue to Googleize it. You Googleizer. Okay, it looks like I have the right one. I want to make sure the aspect ratio isn't too goofy. There you go. All right, Corey, is that it? Is that the one you were talking about? That is pretty cool. It is an unmarked graves. Within this square lie thousands of unknown soldiers of Washington's army who died of wounds and sickness during the Revolutionary War. The independence and liberty you possess are the work of joint councils and joint efforts of common dangers, sufferings, and success. Washington's farewell address, September 17, 1796. That's a... Dude, that is a baller looking freaking... I like that. That's pretty cool, man. Thanks for the shout out on that one, Corey. There you go. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Well, appreciate that, man. Rock on. That's pretty nice, man. No, I like that. So again, Valhalla. Till Valhalla, right? I'm waiting for a phone call where someone gets mad and says, no. The barracks. The things I've seen, they can never unsee. You ain't lying, Daniel. I have. Oh man, you are not. You ain't lying, dude. Beto says I don't understand about Vikings as they were cool with homosexuality, and that would piss people off too. That's right. And women had ponytails. Vikings didn't care about shit like that. They wanted fighters. They wanted warriors. Exactly that. Everyone wants to be all Viking shit and Norse until it's time to do Viking shit and Norse shit, right? That's a good point, man. That is a real good point. You know, we miss the fallen and mourn the loss of our military family. We drink for them and we visit where they laid to rest. And I always think that, and I hope that they're looking down laughing, knowing the truth that after the afterlife is awesome and just waiting on us. That is awesome. I like that right there. That is an awesome quote right there, Jim. You know, we miss the fallen. We mourn the loss of our military family. We drink for them. We visit where they were laid to rest. I always think and hope that they are looking down and laughing, knowing the truth that the afterlife is awesome and are just waiting on for us. You damn right, Jim. That you could not have said, bro, you could not have said that any better. That was perfect. You ain't lying. They're probably looking down at us and like, look at that dude, man. Hurry up. I wonder what look Normandy was named after the Norsemen who came in and invaded. I'm telling you, man. All the bro-bets are getting confused, aren't they? Not knowing what to believe now. What about the Fiddler's Dream? Yeah, Fiddler's Dream too. Yeah, Fiddler's Green. I didn't think about that too. But I'm just thinking that, you know, all the times laughing and joking with some of our friends, and then they go and then we're, you know, let me get that. Hang on, I got other chats looking at me. The Fiddler's Green home. I gotta make sure I gotta make sure I get it right, because somebody wanted me to read the Fiddler's Green. Of course I will. I will learn how. Fiddler's Green. Halfway down the trail to hell in a shady meadow green are the souls of all dead troopers camped near a good old time canteen. And this internal resting place is known as Fiddler's Green. Marching past straight through to hell, the infantry are seen, accompanied by the engineers, artillery, and marines. For none of the shades of... Wait, am I reading a Cav one? Who sent me the Cav one? I'm not going to read the Cav one. Is that the Cav one? Somebody sent me the Cav one. Is it the same one? Did I mess it up? Is that really it? Huh, you ain't lying. Somebody, there's like, isn't there another one? Isn't there another Fiddler's Green one that someone's getting all mad? You better read it right. I'm just trying to make sure I got the right one. The Fiddler's Green one. I got to make sure I got the right one. I don't want to mess it up. It looks like it's the same one, right? Did I read that one? The correct one? Exactly that. They're turning and wait for to join them. Yeah, see, there's different versions of it, of the one that marching past. Let me see. Did I read that one right? Again, I don't want to piss anybody off by reading the wrong one. I just read the thing about Valhalla. I want to make sure I got that one right too. The original home, so. Because I guess there's different versions of it. But I'll read this one, I guess. I'll read it. Is this the cavalry one, the Cav one, Cavman one? I don't want to get, again, I'm going to get people all butthurt. I appreciate the DMs. It's okay. I don't need to. You can stop sending me DMs. I appreciate it. I got the one what you were talking about. So it continues. Marching past straight through hell are the infantry are seen, accompanied by the engineers, artillery, and marines. For none but the shades of a cavalryman dismount at Fiddler's Green, though some go through curving down the trail to seek a warmer scene. No trooper ever gets to hell, or he's emptied his canteen, and so rides the back to drink again with friends at Fiddler's Green. And so when a man and a horse go down beneath the saber keen, or in a roaring charge of fierce melee, you stop a bullet clean. All the hostiles come to get your scalp, just empty your canteen and put your pistol to your head and go to Fiddler's Green. I don't think that's supposed to be the right one. Who gave me the cavalry one? That's kind of freaking grim, dude. Why's it gotta be, you know, why's it gotta be a Cav one? – 'Cause, 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 ' Well, I appreciate it. I'm going back and forth in DMs right now. Oh man, but yeah, so that's a different. Again, going back. That's a different one when you're talking about the Fiddler's Green stuff. I guess I could just Wikipedia it or something like that. So that way I'm reading the right one, and I don't get nobody upset, and everyone's gonna freak out and say you didn't read the right one. Fiddler's Green. Yeah, there's also different ones. This makes me think of that soldier holding up the landscape and no one notices that they're down there. Everyone has their own version. The Fiddler's Green first appears, and there you go, thank you. In Frederick Marriott's novel, The Dog Fiend, or Snarlio, published in 1856 as lyrics to a sailor song. See, that's the one I remember. That's the one I've heard that one. At Fiddler's Green, where seamen true were here and they've gone their duty, and the bowl of grog shall still renew and pledge to love and beauty. That's spur ride stuff. Exactly that, Anthony. I don't know anything about that spur stuff. But again, it's another memorial to our fallen. I mean, it's not that bad. I was just joking with my calf buddies because they always like to send me calf stuff. Let's see, what's the other one? There's another one in here. Yeah, exactly. Post Cap'n, yep. That's another one. I'm gonna see. Oh, Stephen, of course. The Army, the Engineers. Here we go. I don't want to know the Engineers song, Stefan. I don't want to know that one either. Oh man, no, I appreciate it. But anyways, again, there's no specific way. Celebrate the fallen. Celebrate their lives. Remember their names. Again, if you have anybody that you would like me to read their name, just drop it in the chats right now, and I will read it. Because we're only going to be on here for another 20 minutes. I just thought if you guys and gals wanted to shoot the breeze and shoot the shit during this Memorial Day while we still have our rolling memorial on U.S. Army WTF moments, you guys can just let me know and I'll read the name off. But I think a lot of you will probably have served with some of the individuals that are up because I'm looking at all the comments and pretty much I've seen familiar faces in there. Engineers lead the way almost always 60% of the time, all the time. Okay. Is that it? Is that? No, man. I don't want to have like a rivalry going on. We still got to discuss this drunk history, and what would be the first episode of Drunk History with WTF Nation Radio. Whose idea was that? We're gonna have to get a hold of William Wallace. We need to get some Three Cletus squared away. That's a quote from a movie. Okay. What movie was that? What let me see. Engineers lead the way. Let me see. What movie was that from? Let me Google, initiate Google search. It's in a movie? Where? I don't see it. It's a quote. Where? I don't see it. So you want to be an engineer, Royal Academy of Engineering, blah, 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 blah. Let me see. I don't see it here. Let me keep Googleizing it. I know, I appreciate you guys' patience. Just sit here and watch me Google and shit. And it's not what I had planned, but since you guys are putting me to task here. Let's see. It works 60% all the time. Oh, okay, gotcha. It's a quote from, okay, well. What was it called? Dream Big or something like that? I'm seeing a bunch of Dream Big stuff. Engineering Our World. With some awesomest quotes from General George Patton. Talked about the 4th Infantry Division. I think he did say something like that, didn't he? Wasn't him? It said something like that. But I don't want to speak out of turn. I don't want to get no stolen valor comments or something like that by something that I misquoted and have everybody freak out. Anchorman? Is that really where it came from? No way, really? I need to watch more Anchorman then. I only saw that movie a couple times. Anchorman quotes. No way, dude. I just like Paul Rudd's character. He played Brian. I thought he was hilarious in that one. I thought he was good in that movie too. But let me see. Hey, Brandy. Hey, you know what? That's what we're here for. You got to get those laughs in, and that's it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're here for, Brandy. Anytime you want to listen to us, or you can download one of our podcasts, or just look at the WTF Nation Radio. If there's too much going on U.S. Army WTF Moments, you can always look on the post right now that's on the main page and click WTF Nation Radio, and you can see all the shows. That's where we keep the timeline a little bit tighter on there with just shows and videos and stuff. Just go to WTF Nation Radio, and you'll be able to see that, and you'll be able to grab a podcast. Or if you got Google Play or Apple Podcasts, you want to download our podcast. So tonight, this show is going to be on those podcasts, just WTF Nation Radio, the Monday edition, or Sergeant's Time, or Pop Culture Warrior, or Friday Night Freedom. We got 4 shows a week, so we appreciate you. We appreciate you hanging out with us too. There's no engineer in it. Okay, well, all right, my bad, dude. He was not a soldier, but for G.G. Allen, you piss on his grave to mourn his death. For some, you leave flowers, or you raise your glass. For others, do what you want to mourn your lost loves. If anyone talks shit, fuck them. They don't. You know that they don't. Yeah, well, you know exactly that. You know, it's all about. It's kind of like that in the internal family that we have amongst the veteran and military community. Yeah, we're a family, right? There's some things that we do. There's things that we do to each other sometimes that pisses us off. Just like a family. You get some freaking crazy uncle or something like that, or some relative, or some cousin. Just like one of those. It's hard. It's hard. And I just want you guys and gals to, if you guys need anything, just reach out. Don't hold it in. Don't bottle it in. Don't blame nobody. Just, you don't feel like it's your fault on anything that happened. If you lost a family member while deployed or something like that. I know I've seen on certain social media platforms where people have just gotten downright vicious on things that nobody could not have controlled, but people are getting slung mud at, and it's not necessary. Shit just happens in a deployment. Shit just happens in conflict, and a lot of it is you really cannot predict what's going to happen. And no plan survives enemy contact. Isn't that one of Murphy's laws of war? So just take care of each other. Shoot the shit. Do not hold it in. Our friend Boone Cutler has the Warrior Pledge. Spartan Pledge. I'm sorry, Warrior Pledge. I'm looking at a little different stuff right now. Spartan Pledge. Read it. Go on his website. He's a friend of the station. He'll shoot the shit with us for once in a while. And he'll come on and give us a call. Nothing wrong with that. But again, don't hold it in, because then that shit will fester. All that anger is going to burn you up for no reason, and then you're going to have nothing but, just going to be pissed off all the time. I've had some friends that hold on to guilt for a long time. If calling them a show seems like too much, please message the page or anyone in here, and really anyone. Exactly that, Jim. Exactly that. If you feel like you can't call, that's totally cool. You could just go into the U.S. Army WTF Moments inbox, message the inbox, and say, hey, I need to talk. We've been dealing with that all weekend. So don't feel like you're going to be the only one in there. You're not going to be alone. There's been tons. We've received tons of messages all weekend. I don't think I've slept because we've been so busy just doing everything, doing the shows, doing the concerts, doing the engagements, talking to the audience and all that. It's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Did you guys catch last week, or did you catch the show with Pop Culture Warrior? He had Pedro on. He had Efren Ramirez. That's pretty cool. Tomorrow he's going to have Eric Kane. He's a writer or blogger for Forbes Magazine. Forbes Magazine, that's like the big dog stuff right there. He'll be on to talk about video games and stuff. But he writes widely read and respected blogs about video games, entertainment, and culture. He's like their pop culture warrior at full. He's Forbes warrior, I guess. Pop culture Forbes warrior, I guess you wouldn't want to call it. He is a Shorty Award-nominated journalist and a critic whose work has appeared in The Atlantic, The National Review, Mother Jones, True Slant, and elsewhere. Kane co-founded the political commentary blog League of Ordinary Gentlemen, whose members have gone to write at multiple major publications, including the New York Times and Slate. He lives in Arizona with his family. Again, a big shout out, man. I just want to give a shout out to all the bands. Once Revealed, Another Round, Bayou Bandits, Scott Mann for giving us the film to stream on U.S. Army WTF Moments, WTF Nation Radio. If you don't want to scrub the videos, yeah, exactly that, brother. Have another drink. What's up, Brian? Good seeing you, man. If you've not seen the timeline, if it's too much for you on WTF Moments, if you scroll through, but if you go to WTF Nation Radio, it's a pinned post. Last out, Elegy of a Green Beret. It'll change you. It'll hit you. Prepare for feels. Prepare for emotions. It's gonna hit you. I think right now there's a lot of watch parties happening as we speak. Currently, we use as many journalist vets as we can. You ain't lying. You ain't lying, Corey. We do need more journalist vets. I think that's why we get along with Task and Purpose. I think that's why we get along with We Are the Mighty. We get along with some other, finishing up our last person, a viewing person. Oh, cool, dude. Awesome. That's awesome. That's right. Yeah, you were having it today. That's right, Brian. Yep. We do get along with them a lot. So speaking of which, next after we got Eric Kane showing up for Pop Culture Warrior the following week on June 8th. Scott Mann, he is the retired Green Beret turned playwright, is going to come on and discuss about Last Out, Elegy of a Green Beret. I personally met the man, great guy. Shot the breeze with his production crew, his team, his PR folks. Great group of people. It's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be a great interview. See the movie, see the film, and then you'll see Scott Mann on 8 June when he talks to Pop Culture Warrior CQ. Rob Paulson on the 22nd of June. Another CQ guest, another Pop Culture Warrior guest, voice actor Rob Paulson, will be on Pop Culture Warrior to discuss his experiences in voice acting in Hollywood. And some of his work is Raphael and Donatello from the 1987 and 2012 animated series Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My kid's going to freak out about this. Awesome, thank you. I was sent a message from my casualty officer showing me my son's name and photo ID. We're on here in US Message, and this live show popped up, and I've not been able to shut it off since. And I turned it on. I'm glad, and I think I can listen to you. Thanks again for all the things. You know what? It is, Brandy. I'm honored. I appreciate you, and I thank you. Thank you so much. We were humbled by your comments. We appreciate it. Rob Paulson has also been he's also Pinky from Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. Carl Reiser from Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. He's gonna be on here. He was Spike on Land Before Time, and he was the title character in the Mask animated series. So in total, Paulson has been over a voice in over 250 different animated characters and performed in over 1,000 commercials and received a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Performer in an Animated Program and 3 Annie Awards for his sole role as Pinky. That's pretty cool. We got more guests coming up. This is just a real smidgen of what we got coming ahead. We got the Monday edition today, of course. We have Pop Culture Warrior with Michael Carrasquillo, also known as a CQ, on Tuesday with the Unpop Cultured Radar. Sergeant's Time with myself and Spanky, where we're sergeanting about sergeant stuff and sergeanting amongst, the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. And Friday, we have Friday Night Freedom with Kaz and Pookie, the Godzilla of the station. Yeah, you ain't lying, Brian. 2 hours and 20-minute gut punch. It's definitely worth it. But again, hey, I just want to thank you guys and gals for hanging out tonight. Just to chat, just to get it all out of your system. It felt good for me to come on and shoot the breeze with you guys and gals. It felt good for me to talk about some stuff. It felt good to interact with you guys in the chats, and I'm pretty sure this would be a good time to to finish up the weekend for Memorial Day, and while you remember your friends, family that have fallen. Again, may they all rest in peace, and thank you guys so much again for hanging out. Again, make sure you tune in to Pop Culture Warrior tomorrow, and y'all have a good night. Have a good weekend.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now they say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport now, sit back, relax, and watch us through the Hubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planets of America. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. We'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. The critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.